Have you ever felt a shiver run down your spine as a sudden storm rolls in, or gaze in awe at the vast expanse of stars overhead? Long before scientific explanations, our ancestors confronted these same powerful, often terrifying forces of nature and the profound mysteries of existence itself. Imagine a world where the sun's daily journey, the changing seasons, and the unpredictable tides were not understood as natural phenomena, but as deliberate actions of unseen powers. In this world, questions burn bright. What is the meaning of life? Where did everything come from? Why does chaos sometimes reign? Without the tools of modern science, ancient peoples embarked on a different path to understanding, one woven with stories, symbols, and the creation of extraordinary beings, gods. These weren't just whimsical tales. They were vital attempts to decode the universe, to impose order on the seemingly random, and find solace in the face of the unknown. But why gods? What primal urges, what deep-seated needs, drove humanity to invent these powerful entities and craft the intricate narratives that surround them? Understanding the genesis of mythology is like unlocking a time capsule to the ancient human mind, revealing the very roots of belief and the enduring quest for meaning that continues to resonate within us today. Prepare to journey back to the dawn of understanding, to explore the fertile ground from which mythology sprang. You're about to uncover compelling reasons why ancient people didn't just tell stories. They created gods, shaping not only their world, but the very foundations of human culture and thought that echo even now. This exploration will illuminate not just the past, but also perhaps something profound about ourselves and our enduring search for answers in a world that still holds its share of mysteries. Building upon the initial intrigue, let's delve deeper into the world of mythology. Imagine societies where the cycles of life and death, the fury of storms, and the abundance of harvest were not explained by textbooks or laboratories. For ancient peoples, the world was a vibrant, often overwhelming, tapestry of events that demanded explanation. This wasn't simply about satisfying curiosity. It was about survival. Understanding the world meant knowing how to navigate it, how to appease its unpredictable forces, and ultimately, how to thrive within it. This need for understanding wasn't merely intellectual. It was profoundly practical and emotional. Imagine the anxiety of relying entirely on the rhythms of nature for sustenance, the terror of unexplained disasters, the deep questions about mortality and purpose that arise in every human heart. Mythology arose not from idle speculation, but from a deep and urgent need to make sense of existence in the face of constant uncertainty. It was a framework for understanding a world that often felt chaotic and beyond human control. Therefore, the creation of gods and the myths that surround them wasn't a trivial pursuit. It was a fundamental human endeavor, a response to the inherent challenges of existence itself. These stories and deities weren't simply flights of fancy. They were crucial tools for navigating reality, for establishing social order, and for finding meaning in a world brimming with both wonder and peril. Understanding why ancient people created gods is thus not just an academic exercise. It's about understanding a core aspect of the human experience itself, a quest for meaning and control that resonates even today. To truly grasp the origins of mythology, we must explore these fundamental human needs: the need for explanation in a world devoid of scientific understanding, the need for control in the face of unpredictable forces, the need for moral frameworks to govern society, and a profound human yearning for purpose and belonging. By examining these needs, we can begin to understand the compelling logic behind the creation of gods and the enduring power of mythology in human history. Visually, consider showing contrasting images, perhaps a modern science lab juxtaposed with ancient cave paintings or a depiction of early humans facing a natural phenomenon like a storm. Ready to journey deeper into the captivating world of mythology? Subscribe now for even more fascinating insights into the origins of gods. Join our community in the comments. Share your perspectives, ask your burning questions, and together, let's decode these ancient mysteries. Your voice truly enriches our exploration. Let's delve further into mythology. To truly understand why ancient people created gods, we must explore the core human needs these deities fulfilled. Firstly, gods serve as explanation for the world around them. Imagine facing a storm, not understanding meteorology, but needing to make sense of the terrifying power. Gods of thunder and storms emerged, providing a narrative for these chaotic events, transforming them from random occurrences into the actions of powerful beings with motivations. Secondly, gods offer a sense of control in a world where humans felt largely powerless. If the harvest failed, instead of succumbing to despair, people could appeal to agricultural gods with rituals and offerings. This act of worship wasn't necessarily about literal control, but about creating a sense of agency and hope in the face of unpredictable natural cycles. It provided a framework for action, a way to do something to influence their fate. Thirdly, gods were crucial for establishing moral and social order. Divine laws and commandments, often attributed to gods, provided a powerful basis for ethical behavior and societal rules. Fear of divine punishment and hope for divine reward became strong motivators for adhering to social norms, fostering community cohesion and stability. Gods were not just figures of power, but also upholders of justice and morality. Finally, and perhaps most profoundly, gods address fundamental existential needs. Creation myths, afterlife beliefs, and stories of divine purpose offered answers to the deepest human questions. Where do we come from? Why are we here? What happens after death? These narratives provided meaning and comfort, anchoring individuals within a larger cosmic story and alleviating the anxieties of mortality and meaninglessness. By exploring these needs, we begin to grasp the profound and practical reasons behind the creation of gods. In our interconnected world, we are constantly confronted with diverse cultures and belief systems. News headlines scream of conflicts rooted in different ideologies, values, and worldviews. Yet, beneath the surface of these clashes lies a fundamental human commonality: the enduring quest to understand our place in the universe and the forces that shape our lives. This is precisely where the origins of mythology become acutely relevant now. The urgent problem isn't simply historical curiosity. It's a pervasive misunderstanding of the deep human needs that drive belief systems, both ancient and modern. In a time of increasing polarization, where different perspectives are often demonized rather than understood, grasping the foundational reasons why humans create systems of meaning, like mythology and gods, becomes crucial for fostering empathy and bridging divides. We often see what people believe, but rarely understand why they believe it at a fundamental level. This knowledge gap has real-world consequences. Misunderstanding the roots of belief can fuel prejudice, hinder cross-cultural communication, and impede our ability to find common ground in a globalized world. By exploring the origins of mythology, we gain a powerful lens through which to understand not only ancient societies, but also contemporary human behavior and belief. It allows us to recognize the shared human longings for explanation, control, morality, and meaning that underpin diverse cultural expressions. Therefore, understanding why ancient people created gods is not just an academic pursuit. It's a critical tool for navigating our complex, multicultural world with greater understanding and compassion. It's about recognizing the universal human needs that persist across time and cultures, and fostering a more empathetic and nuanced perspective in an era desperately needing bridges of understanding rather than walls of division. The urgency lies in leveraging the wisdom of the past to build a more harmonious and understanding future. To understand the origins of gods, let's break down some key concepts. Firstly, consider the animistic worldview prevalent in many ancient cultures. Imagine seeing spirits in everything, not just animals, but trees, rivers, even rocks possessing a life force. This wasn't seen as fantasy. It was a way of perceiving a world teeming with unseen energies and consciousness. Could you imagine every rustle of leaves being a whispered message from a tree spirit? Gods, in a way, are a more developed, personified form of these initial spirits. Next, think about personification. Ancient people often gave human-like qualities to natural forces and abstract concepts. The sun wasn't just a ball of fire. It became a sun god, Ra, or Helios, with a personality, a will, and a story. Why personify? Because it makes the impersonal and overwhelming feel relatable and understandable. Isn't it easier to grapple with a powerful god of the sea, Poseidon, than the abstract concept of the ocean's vastness and unpredictable power? Then there's the concept of ritual and sacrifice. If gods control the elements, then appeasing them through offerings and ceremonies seem logical. Archaeological evidence reveals countless sites of ritualistic practices, from simple food offerings to complex ceremonies. These weren't just empty gestures. They were attempts to communicate with and influence the perceived divine forces. If your crops depended on rain, wouldn't you try anything, including rituals, to ensure the rain god was happy? Finally, consider the power of narrative. Myths are not just stories. They are frameworks for understanding the world and our place within it. Creation myths explain origins. Hero myths provide moral examples, and afterlife myths offer comfort in the face of death. These narratives provided structure and meaning to life, answering fundamental questions and shaping cultural identity. Without scientific history books, wouldn't compelling stories about your origins, passed down through generations, become your history and your identity? These concepts, animism, personification, ritual, and narrative, are foundational to understanding why gods were not just invented, but rather emerged as vital responses to the ancient human experience. Let's consider the practical applications of these ancient concepts. Take animism. While we may not literally believe in tree spirits, understanding this worldview can foster environmental respect. Seeing nature as inherently alive encourages responsible stewardship. A challenge? Bridging this with a scientific mindset. Strategy: focus on the value, appreciating nature's complexity, regardless of literal spirits. Personification *** isn't just ancient history. We use it constantly. Mother Nature, national symbols as personified figures, even brands with personalities. Challenge: it can oversimplify complex issues. Strategy: recognize personification as a communication tool, but analyze beyond the simplified image. Rituals and sacrifices *** persist in modern life. Daily routines offer structure. Traditions build social bonds, and delaying gratification, sacrificing immediate pleasure, helps achieve goals. Challenge: modern life often devalues ritual. Strategy: reframe rituals as tools for well-being and social connection. Sacrifice as investment in the future. Finally, the power of narrative is everywhere, from advertising to political speeches. Stories shape our understanding. Challenge: narratives can be manipulated. Strategy: develop critical thinking. Analyze how stories are constructed and whose interests they serve. By recognizing these applications and challenges, we see mythology's enduring relevance. Delving deeper, we see mythology's impact extend beyond individual understanding to shape entire civilizations. Consider the Axial Age, roughly 8th to 3rd centuries BCE, a period where profound shifts occurred in religious and philosophical thought globally. From Greek philosophy to Buddhism and monotheistic religions, this era witnessed a move away from purely nature-based polytheism towards more abstract and ethical frameworks. This wasn't a rejection of the need for gods, but an evolution in their conception, reflecting increasingly complex social structures and moral inquiries. For example, the rise of monotheism can be seen as a refinement of the need for order and control, concentrating divine authority into a single, universal power responsible for cosmic justice. Sociologist Emil Durkheim argued that religion, and by extension mythology, functions to reinforce social solidarity and collective identity. Psychologist Carl Jung explored mythological archetypes as reflections of the collective unconscious, suggesting myths tap into universal human experiences and anxieties. These advanced perspectives highlight that the creation of gods was not a static event, but an ongoing process, adapting to evolving human societies and intellectual landscapes. The pivotal shift during the Axial Age demonstrates how mythology, even while rooted in primal needs, can transform and address increasingly sophisticated human concerns, solidifying its enduring role in shaping civilization. Research consistently demonstrates the enduring human need for meaning-making systems, and mythology stands as a foundational example. Anthropologist Bronislaw Malinowski, through his fieldwork in the Trobriand Islands, showed how myths weren't just fanciful stories, but charters for social action, legitimizing rituals and social structures. His work highlights mythology's practical function in maintaining social order. Data from the Pew Research Center consistently reveals that religion remains a significant force in global populations. In 2020, they estimated that 84% of the world's population identifies with a religious group. This underscores the continued relevance of systems of belief, even in increasingly secularized societies. While modern societies have science, The underlying needs that mythology addressed, explanation, community, moral guidance, persist, often finding new expressions. Psychologist Steven Pinker, while advocating for reason and science, acknowledges his work, the better angels of our nature, the historical role of religion in reducing violence by fostering shared moral codes and social cohesion within groups. This highlights a complex reality. Even if we move beyond supernatural explanations, the functions mythology serve in creating social harmony are still relevant to building peaceful societies today. Anecdotal evidence is abundant across cultures. From creation stories shaping cultural identities to moral parables influencing ethical behavior, myths continue to inform values and actions. Consider the enduring power of Greek myths in Western literature and art, or the foundational narratives of major world religions. Their continued resonance demonstrates a profound impact of mythological structures on human thought and culture. Furthermore, studies in cognitive science and religion explore the inherent human cognitive biases that might predispose us to religious and mythological thinking. These biases, such as pattern seeking and agency detection, suggest that the creation of gods wasn't arbitrary, but rooted in fundamental aspects of how our brains process information and seek to make sense of the world. Understanding the origins of mythology, therefore, isn't just about studying the past. It's about gaining crucial insights into the enduring human psyche and the persistent drives that shape our beliefs, societies, and our ongoing quest for meaning in a complex universe. This knowledge is vital for navigating our increasingly diverse and interconnected world with empathy and informed understanding. So, are gods just elaborate fictions? Well, in a literal, thunderbolt-throwing sense, yes. But that misses the point entirely. Think of it less like fake history and more like a really insightful mirror reflecting fundamental human needs. As cultural anthropologist Clifford Geertz famously put it, religion and mythology is a big part of that. Meaning myths don't just describe a world, they shape how we live in it. Someone might ask, okay, but why bother with myths now when we have science? It's not about choosing sides. Science excels at explaining how the world works. Mythology grapples with why we're here and how to live meaningful lives within it. Think of it like this. Science gives us a map of the territory. Mythology helps us understand why we're even on the journey in the first place. And that's a journey every human takes. Did every ancient culture create gods for exactly the same reasons? Probably not in every detail. Culture is wonderfully diverse. But across cultures, you see striking similarities in the types of gods and the functions they serve, explaining nature, setting moral codes, offering comfort. Think of flood myths. They pop up all over the world, from Mesopotamia to indigenous America. That's not coincidence. It reflects a shared human experience of dealing with overwhelming natural forces and existential anxieties. Ultimately, understanding why ancient people created gods isn't about proving or disproving any specific deity. It's about understanding us. It's about recognizing the enduring power of story, symbol, and the human drive to make sense of a universe that can often feel vast, indifferent, and profoundly mysterious. And that drive, that need for meaning, is as relevant today as it ever was. So, what do we learn about why ancient people conjured gods? It boils down to these core human needs: to explain a mysterious world, to feel some control amidst chaos, to build moral societies, and to find meaning in our fleeting existence. These weren't just ancient problems. These are human problems, echoing through time and cultures. Understanding mythology isn't just about dusty history books. It's about understanding ourselves. What can you do with this understanding? Start noticing mythology around you. From superhero narratives to cultural values, you'll see echoes of these ancient patterns everywhere. Delve deeper into specific mythologies that intrigue you. Explore Greek epics and Norse sagas or creation myths from indigenous cultures. Consider how these stories address the needs of their time and how similar needs manifest today. The real benefit of understanding the origins of mythology is empathy. It allows us to see the common ground beneath different belief systems, recognizing the shared human quest for meaning that drives us all. It fosters a deeper appreciation for the power of stories and the enduring ways humans make sense of the world. Ready to take the next step? Dive into the comments below. Share which aspect of mythological origins resonated most with you. What questions do you still have? Let's continue this exploration together. The journey into mythology is a journey into the heart of human experience, and it's just beginning. So, as we close this exploration into the dawn of belief, remember this. When we study mythology, we aren't just looking at ancient stories. We're gazing into a mirror reflecting the timeless landscape of the human heart. The gods our ancestors created, in all their vibrant and varied forms, were born from profound human yearning to understand, to connect, and to find our place in a cosmos that can often feel indifferent to our existence. Their myths, though ancient, are not relics of a bygone era. They are living testaments to our enduring capacity for imagination, our relentless quest for meaning, and our deep-seated need to weave narratives that make sense of the universe and our lives within it. The echoes of those first questions. Why are we here? What forces shape our world? So, let the exploration continue. Venture forth, delve into the rich tapestry of world mythologies, and discover the countless ways humans have sought to understand the divine and their place within the grand story of existence. For in understanding their search, we come closer to understanding ourselves and the enduring power of the myths that continue to shape our world, seen and unseen.